Have you ever made a decision to regret it the moment after? Have you ever felt overwhelmed, like your mind was trapped in a storm of thoughts you couldn't control? You're not alone. Most people don't suffer from a lack of intelligence. They suffer from a lack of clarity. The ability to think clearly isn't about being smarter. It's about being still enough to hear the truth inside you. In Buddhism, the mind is compared to a muddy glass of water. Shake it, and everything becomes cloudy. But let it sit, and the mud settles. Only then can you see through it. Only then can you decide with wisdom, not fear. If you're tired of overthinking, second-guessing, or feeling stuck between confusion and chaos, then this video will guide you toward powerful lessons from Buddhist philosophy that will show you how to clear your mind, make wise decisions, and finally find peace within the noise. 1. Silence is the gateway to clarity. In a world that never stops talking, silence is a rare treasure. We live in a time where noise surrounds us, constantly phones buzzing, voices shouting, deadlines screaming. Our minds get pulled in 1,000 directions, and without realizing it, we become lost in the whirlwind. But Buddhism teaches something powerful, that silence is not just the absence of sound. It is the beginning of awareness. Silence is not emptiness, it is space. And in that space, the truth begins to appear. Imagine a glass full of muddy water. If you keep shaking it, the water stays cloudy. But if you place it on the table and let it sit, slowly, the dirt sinks and the water becomes clear again. Your mind works the same way. When you're constantly thinking, reacting, worrying and planning, clarity becomes impossible. But when you allow your mind to be still, to simply rest without trying to fix or solve anything, the mental mud begins to settle. Most people feel the need to fill every gap with noise, whether it's external or internal. They rush to speak, to respond, to argue, to scroll, to escape. But clarity doesn't live in noise. It lives in the pause between the noise. That moment when you close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just allow the world to be as it is without judgment or interference. That moment is where your inner wisdom begins to awaken. Silence gives you space to observe, not just others, but yourself, your reactions, your fears, your assumptions. It helps you see the difference between what is real and what is just noise in your head. And through that observation, the fog lifts. You don't need to have all the answers right away. You don't need to speak just because someone expects you to. You don't have to solve every problem in one breath. Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is nothing at all except be present. Sit with yourself. Feel your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Hear the subtle sounds around you. That's where peace begins, and when peace comes, clarity follows. Not through effort, but through stillness. You begin to understand not only what to do, but who you are. You make better decisions not because you forced them, but because you've finally seen them clearly. So next time you feel confused, overwhelmed, or uncertain, don't rush. Don't speak too soon. Don't reach for another opinion. Instead, be still. Let silence do what noise never could. Let it clear your mind and guide you back to yourself. 2. Watch the thought. Don't become it. One of the most important teachings in Buddhism is this: you are not your thoughts. This may sound simple, but it can completely change how you experience life. Most people don't realize it, but they are constantly caught in a storm of thinking, judging, planning, fearing, remembering, and they believe every single thought that passes through their mind. But thoughts are not facts. They are like passing clouds in the sky. Some are light and harmless. Some are dark and heavy. But none of them are permanent, and none of them are you. When you begin to observe your thoughts instead of reacting to them, something powerful happens. You create space. Space to choose your response. Space to decide what's true and what's just noise. For example, if the thought comes, "I'm not good enough," most people immediately believe it, feel it, and act on it. But the moment you step back and say, I see this thought has come," you are no longer trapped by it. You are watching it instead of becoming it. In Buddhist practice, this is called mindfulness. It is the skill of witnessing what is happening in your mind without judgment and without attachment. You simply notice, fear is here. Anger is rising. And by naming the thought or emotion without merging with it, you take away its power. Think of your mind like a busy road. Thoughts are like cars driving by. You can either stand on the sidewalk and watch the traffic, or you can step into the street and get hit by every single car. Most people live in the middle of the road, hit by thought after thought, day after day. But you don't have to live that way. You can learn to step back. You can learn to watch. This practice doesn't mean your thoughts will disappear. The mind will still produce fears, doubts, judgments, and stories. But you will no longer be their prisoner. You'll realize just because my mind says something doesn't mean it's true. And that realization is freedom. Clear thinking begins with detachment, not from life, but from false identification. You are not your fear. You are not your jealousy. You are not your mistakes. You are the awareness behind all of them. The one who notices. The one who sees. So next time your mind gets flooded with thought spores, don't react. Don't believe everything you think. Just watch, like a calm witness, like a silent observer. The more you practice this, the more peaceful and clear your mind will become. And from that calm place, the right decisions start to reveal themselves, not from fear, but from wisdom. Not because you forced your mind to think better, but because you stopped being controlled by it. 3. Let go of the outcome to see the truth. One of the biggest reasons we struggle to think clearly is because we're too attached to the outcome. We don't just want to make a decision, we want to guarantee it leads to success, safety, or approval. Our minds become obsessed with questions like, what if this doesn't work? What if I fail? What if they don't like it? And in trying to control the future, we lose clarity in the present. Buddhism teaches that attachment is the root of suffering, and this includes attachment to specific results. When your mind clings to one outcome, whether it's winning, being praised, making money, or avoiding discomfort, you stop seeing things as they truly are. You become blinded by fear, by desire, or by ego. And in that state, even simple decisions feel heavy and confusing. Think about a person trying to walk a straight path while constantly turning their head to look behind them or off to the side. That's what we do when we focus too much on what might happen. We lose our balance. We second guess. We become reactive instead of wise. The truth is, you can't control everything. No matter how carefully you plan, the future will always hold unknowns. And the more you try to force life into a perfect box, the more resistance and stress you create in your own mind. But when you let go of the outcome even just a little, you open up space to think clearly. You start making choices not based on fear of failure or desire for validation, but based on your values, your peace, and your present awareness. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you trust. You trust that if you move with honesty, patience, and mindfulness, the result will take care of itself, even if it looks different than what you imagined. You start to ask new kinds of questions. Not, what's the safest choice? But, what aligns with who I really am? Not, what will make others happy? But, what feels peaceful in my soul? Not, what guarantees success? but what feels right, even if it's uncertain. Clarity grows when pressure fades, and pressure fades when you surrender the illusion that you can control every twist and turn in life. In Buddhist thought, this surrender is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's understanding that life is a flow, and your role is not to block the river, but to flow with it consciously and lightly. So when you're faced with a difficult decision or a moment of confusion, ask yourself, am I thinking clearly? Or am I just afraid of losing control? Breathe, step back, release your grip on the result, and you'll be amazed at how clearly the right next step begins to shine. Not from fear, not from force, but from the quiet guidance of a heart that's no longer tied to winning or losing, just being true. 4. Don't think harder, see simpler. One of the greatest traps of the modern mind is overthinking. When we're faced with uncertainty, confusion, or fear, our first instinct is to think more. We believe that if we just analyze harder, collect more opinions, run through more scenarios, in our heads, we'll somehow stumble upon the perfect answer. But often, the opposite happens. The more we think, the more tangled we become. Our thoughts begin looping, doubts multiply, and the path forward becomes even blurrier. Buddhism teaches that wisdom doesn't always come from thinking more, it comes from seeing clearly. And clarity often comes when we simplify, not when we complicate. Imagine a person standing in a forest, trying to find the way out. They start running in circles, checking every path, second-guessing each step, and getting more lost. But if that person climbs a small hill, gains perspective, and looks around from above, they see clearly where the exit is. That hill in Buddhist practice is simplicity. Simplicity doesn't mean ignoring important details. It means cutting through the noise to focus on what truly matters. It means stepping away from the mental fog of what-ifs, maybes, and endless comparisons and asking the simple, grounding questions. What's real right now? What's truly important in this moment? What brings peace, not pressure? You see, the ego loves complexity. It thrives in drama, overthinking, and showing off knowledge. It wants decisions to be grand, impressive, and filled with guarantees. But the heart, the deeper wisdom inside you, speaks softly, simply, and with ease. The right answer often isn't the one that dazzles your mind. It's the one that calms your soul. Clear thinking comes not from twisting your thoughts into knots, but from loosening them, from zooming out, from asking, is this thought helping me or making me feel stuck? A useful practice in Buddhism is to return to the body when the mind becomes overwhelmed. Sit still, feel your breath, place your hand on your heart, ask yourself gently, what feels light? Clarity often reveals itself not as a loud answer, but as a quiet knowing, a subtle sense of, this is the way. If a decision feels heavy, frantic, or forced, pause. Maybe you're thinking too hard and seeing too little. Maybe you're trying to impress others instead of honoring your truth. Maybe the answer is not in another book, another voice, or another day of worrying, but in this moment, right here, now. The most profound solutions in life are usually the simplest: to love, to let go, to forgive, to walk away, to stay. These choices, when viewed through the lens of simplicity, feel honest, natural, true. So next time your mind is spiraling, stop trying to think your way out. Instead, ask yourself, what would this look like if it was simple? What would I do if I trusted myself completely? Because clarity doesn't scream, it whispers. And only when you stop thinking harder and start seeing simpler, do you finally hear it. Imagine standing in front of a mirror that's been covered in dust and smudges for years. You can barely see your own reflection. No matter how hard you squint, the image remains blurry. But if you take a cloth and start wiping the glass gently, patiently, the real reflection slowly starts to appear. This is exactly how the mind works. Most people try to see clearly by adding more and more information, more opinions, more strategies. But Buddhism teaches something different. You don't need to add more. You need to remove what's in the way. Clarity is already within you. It's not something you have to chase. It's something you uncover by letting go of what's clouding your inner vision. Think about all the things that cloud your thinking. Old emotional wounds that haven't healed. Fear of failure that whispers, "You're not enough." Comparison that constantly makes you feel behind. The need for approval that turns your every decision into a performance. The endless noise of social media, news, notifications, and external voices that never stop telling you what to do, who to be, and how to live. All of these things pile up inside your mind like layers of dust. And when too much of it builds up, even the simplest decisions start to feel heavy and unclear. Buddhism encourages a return to purity, not in a moral sense, but in the sense of mental cleanliness. The idea is simple. The more cluttered your mind is, the harder it is to see the truth. So, if you want to think clearly, you have to start cleaning, not chasing. Begin with your external space. A chaotic room often reflects a chaotic mind. When you clean your environment, you send a signal to your brain that clarity is possible. Then move inward, clear your digital space. Unfollow accounts that make you feel small. Unplug from conversations that only add stress. And most importantly, clear your emotional space. This is where the real work begins. Let go of grudges you've been carrying like a heavy backpack. Release the guilt of past decisions that no longer serve you. Forgive others not because they were right, but because you deserve peace. Drop the need to always be right, always be perfect, or always be in control. These are weights that block your clarity and drain your energy. Sometimes, it's not that you don't know what to do. It's that you're too emotionally entangled to see what's already clear. In Buddhist practice, meditation is one of the key tools to gently remove this internal noise. By sitting still, watching your breath, and observing your thoughts without clinging to them, you start to sweep the dust away. You realize that many of your worries aren't real. They're just old patterns repeating themselves. And as you let those patterns dissolve, clarity begins to rise like the sun breaking through clouds. Another way to gain clarity is through honest self-inquiry. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that's blocking my peace? What story am I telling myself that might not be true? What can I release today that I no longer need? You'll be surprised how much lighter your thoughts become when you stop carrying emotional baggage that doesn't belong to your present moment. Remember, a cluttered life creates a cluttered mind, and a cluttered mind creates poor decisions, restless nights, and unnecessary suffering. But a clear life, even if it's quiet, simple, and imperfect, gives birth to a clear mind. And a clear mind sees what really matters. It hears the voice of inner wisdom. It makes decisions not from fear, but from peace. Not from confusion, but from calm intention. So if you're searching for clarity, stop adding. Start subtracting. Wipe the mirror. Clear the space. Breathe deeply. Because the answers you seek are not buried far away. They're just hidden beneath the noise you've been carrying for too long. 6. Sit with the question, not just the answer. In today's fast-paced world, we are conditioned to believe that the faster we find an answer, the smarter or more successful we are. We search for instant solutions, quick fixes, and immediate clarity, believing that speed equals intelligence. But from a Buddhist perspective, true wisdom doesn't always arrive in a rush. It blossoms with patience. Sometimes the most important part of thinking clearly is not forcing an answer, but learning how to sit with the question. Our discomfort with uncertainty often drives us to act prematurely. We ask, "What should I do?" And then we panic if we don't know right away. We Google, we scroll, we ask others, we chase advice. And in that rush, we often accept shallow answers just to silence the discomfort knot, because we truly understand the truth beneath the question. But Buddhism teaches that some questions are meant to be lived through, not immediately solved. Just like a fruit needs time to ripen before it's sweet, a question sometimes needs space before it reveals its true answer. When you sit with a question calmly, patiently, you allow your mind to deepen. You stop looking for surface-level solutions and begin to feel your way into something richer. You start to notice what's beneath the question: fear, desire, confusion, pain. And often, it's not the question that needs an answer. It's the part of you that needs healing. For example, instead of asking, "Should I quit my job?" and trying to decide overnight, sit with the deeper question, "What am I truly seeking?" Freedom, purpose, peace. The more time you spend with the question, the clearer the real issue becomes. And clarity doesn't come from pressure, it comes from presence. Sitting with a question means observing how your body feels when you think about it. It means paying attention to how the idea shifts over time. Sometimes what felt urgent on day 1 feels much softer by day 5. Sometimes what felt right in the moment turns out to be fear wearing the mask of logic. And sometimes silence brings answers that thinking never could. This practice also teaches humility. Not every answer is meant to be known right away, and that's okay. Clarity is not a race. In Buddhist teachings, the mind is compared to a pond. If the water is stirred and unsettled, you can't see the reflection. But if you wait, letting the surface settle, the truth beneath will reveal itself. Let yourself become that still water. Let the question rest in your mind like a seed in the soil. Don't dig it up every hour to check if it's growing. Trust the process. Trust your inner wisdom to rise when you need it, but only when you're calm enough to receive it. And while you wait, be kind to yourself. You don't need to have everything figured out today. Growth often looks like uncertainty, and wisdom often starts with, "I don't know yet." So the next time you feel rushed, confused, or desperate for answers, pause and take a deep breath. And instead of searching for answers, create space. Space to reflect, space to feel, space to be. Because the right answer, when it's ready, won't come as a cure-all. It will come as peace, not as a loud shout in your mind, but as a quiet yes in your heart. That's when you realize you didn't find the answer. The answer found you. A clear mind comes from a clean heart. Many people seek mental clarity by focusing only on the mind, reading books, collecting facts, analyzing options, and searching for ways to think better. But in Buddhist philosophy, clear thinking isn't just about being smart. It's deeply connected to the heart. A mind burdened with guilt, bitterness, pride, or dishonesty will always struggle to see things clearly, no matter how intelligent it may be. Because a clear mind can't exist in a troubled heart. Just like dirty water can't reflect the sky, a heart filled with resentment or lies can't show the truth. Every emotion, every intention, every silent feeling inside you shapes how you see the world. And if your heart holds on to hidden anger, jealousy, shame, or selfish desires, your thoughts will follow those feelings, even when you think you're being reasonable. That's why Buddhism teaches the Eightfold Path, not just for how we act, but also for mental clarity. One part of that path is right intention, which means cleaning the heart before you think or act. Before making any decision, ask yourself, am I being honest with myself? Is my intention coming from peace or from fear? Am I choosing out of love or from my ego? This kind of self-questioning is like a spiritual cleansing that allows true clarity to emerge. Because when your heart is clear, when you've let go of hidden grudges, the need to prove yourself, or the desire to control, your thoughts become gentle, open, and in tune with your deeper truth. You stop thinking like a warrior trying to win and start thinking like a monk seeking to understand. A pure heart is one that forgives, not because others always deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Forgiveness helps you release the heavy emotional weight that clouds your thoughts, and suddenly, you're no longer making choices from hurt or revenge. You're choosing from a place of steady calm. A pure heart also speaks the truth, even when it's difficult. When you lie to yourself or others, you create a gap between your words and your soul. That gap creates noise in your mind, confusion, guilt, and fear of being exposed. But when you live truthfully, there's no need to keep track of lies. Your mind feels lighter, your path becomes easier to see. And finally, a clean heart is one that acts with kindness. In Buddhism, the goal isn't just to be right, it's to be kind. If your choices hurt others, go against your values, or ignore the pain around you, your mind will never feel completely at peace. But when your thoughts are guided by kindness, they hold a deeper wisdom, a spiritual understanding that goes beyond logic. So if you feel lost in life, if your thoughts are messy, your path unclear, and your choices full of doubt, don't just examine your mind. Turn toward your heart. Ask yourself, who or what do I still need to forgive? Where have I not been truthful? With others or with myself? What fears am I still hiding? And am I thinking from love or something else? Because often the problem isn't with your thoughts. It's with what you haven't yet healed. And when the heart is clean, the mind starts to shine on its own. A calm heart brings a calm mind, and a calm mind makes strong decisions. A strong decision made with love, honesty, and compassion can change not just your life, but the lives of those around you. In the fast pace of life, we often think that thinking faster, harder, or louder will bring clarity. But in reality, clarity isn't something you chase. It's something you create by quieting the noise, calming the storm, and looking inward with truth and patience. You don't need more answers. You need more stillness. You don't have to push your mind to work harder. You need to make space for it to work naturally. Silence is not weakness. It's a doorway. Watching your thoughts without getting caught in them isn't detachment. It's true strength. Letting go of the outcome isn't giving up. It's trusting something deeper. And simplifying doesn't mean doing less. It means seeing more clearly. When you begin to remove emotional clutter, mental fog, and the deep urge to control everything, your mind feels lighter. Your choices become gentle, wise, and strong. Not because you solved everything, but because you stopped fighting with yourself. Sit with your questions. Let them be. Let them grow in their own time. Don't rush clarity. It's like a sacred guest. It arrives not when you chase it, but when you become quiet enough to welcome it. And most importantly, keep your heart clean. Forgive often. Speak honestly. Choose kindness. Because a pure heart is the best guide. When your heart is clear, your mind follows with peace. And your path becomes not just visible, but filled with meaning. You were never meant to stay lost in confusion. You were meant to wake up, to think clearly, and to live with wisdom. To walk not in fear, but in deep, mindful peace. So today, breathe, be still, and begin the journey. Not toward more answers, but toward a clearer mind, a softer heart, and a wiser life.